Okay, so here's another video on reading guitar tablature, and I wanted to talk about transitions and learning music with smart fingers, your hand position, and your transitions. So this is Day Tripper by the Beatles. This is the main guitar riff. Remember, 6 lines, the 6 strings on your guitar. So it's like you're reading like that. This is your thick string. This is your thin string. The numbers tell you what frets to play on that particular string. So when you see a 0, that means you play that string open. The 3 is the 3rd fret on the thick string. Then the 4th fret. Then you go to the 5th string, 2nd fret. 4th string, 2nd fret. 4th string open. Back to the 5th string, 2nd fret. 4th string, 4th fret. 5th string, 2nd fret. 4th string open. 4th string, 2nd fret. That's the main riff. So we aren't going to talk about, hammer-ons and slides and articulation so much with like the 3 and the 4. So I just want to play this for you so that you can practice it and also talk to you about how to set yourself up for success when reading tab or reading really any music. You want to be thinking about the position that your hand is in, where you're starting, where you're going. So you want to think about these transitions to be smart about how you're getting in and out of things and not to just play things with one finger. When people are first learning, it's pretty common that they take off with just the first finger. It's the strongest finger. So they try to do all this with one finger, which you can get away with at a slow tempo. But when you have to speed things up, you won't be able to pull it off. So thinking about fingering, thinking about your hand position like we talked about in the other video, this is why the picking exercises are so important, to strengthen the individual fingers, and also thinking about your hand position on the back of the neck and how you transition. So 0, 3, 4 on the thick string sounds like this. I go to the 5th string, 2nd fret. Next string, 2nd, then open. Then 2, 4. 2, 0, 2. So this is what the riff would look like. Here's my open, the thick string. 3, 4. Notice I'm doing that with fingers 2 and 3 because I need to get to this 2 on the next string. A lot of people will try to do this. Then you're just hopping around. So if I do this, remember the tab doesn't tell you the fingering to use. They just tell you what frets to play. So just like in, if you look at classical musicians and, with piano music or string music, oftentimes they'll write fingerings in the music to remind themselves about how to shift positions. And I do that a lot for my students too, is I'll write the fingerings in to help them with the transition so they're moving in and out of it. So that's a good practice to get into for yourself, is writing the transitions, the fingerings. So I'm going to do this 3, 4 with fingers 2 and 3 so that I get back to this 2 with my first finger. Then I'm here with my first finger. Then I'm back at this 2 with my first finger. I'm already in that position. I'm going to grab this 4 with my 3rd finger. This is my first. This is my first. You'll see why when I play it. I'll just show you the left hand. See, my first finger is just hanging out. It's ready to go down because I'm in a good hand position. I've got a finger ready for each fret. And if you want to do this with a slide, see, I still set myself up to my first finger. That's not this, because then you have to jump back. So even if this is a hammer-on, pick one time with my right hand, and then I slam the third finger down, that's a hammer, so it could be... See, I still transitioned really well. My first finger's ready for these twos. So you'll set yourself up for success. You'll be less likely to make a mistake by doing a smart fingering. And then on the back of the neck, just like in the other video, if you look at my hand position when I play this, my palm isn't jacked way up here. I'm in this position. Now watch the back of the neck. There's a little bit of movement, but it's just kind of a pivot. I'm not jumping around and doing crazy stuff, because if you jump around on the back, look how it translates to the front. You're more likely to make a mistake. So if you play this riff several times and then you shift all this information, the exact same riff, this 0 is here, this 3 is here, this 4 is here, this 2 is here. You take the whole riff and bump it to the next string, you get... So that's the riff to the Beatles tune, to Day Tripper, and you can see how I'm transitioning well in the frets, and then also when I just bump to the next string. So on the back, if I play that same riff, so let me get this a good angle. Now, the next string. Pretty quiet on the back, pretty steady hand position. I'm not getting my palm up there, closing the front. I'm not doing a bunch of movement. If you're moving around a lot until you have to make a big transition, you know, that's when you want to make your move. But for the most part, you want your hands to be pretty quiet. You want to be hopping around, and you want to use a smart fingering so you're not... Inevitably, you'll miss a note, and you'll make a mistake, and then you'll try that again, and you'll try it again, and you'll just ingrain a bad habit. So you're better off to use a good fingering, and sometimes you have to think about it like, hey, where am I starting? Where do I need to go? What's the best way to get there to keep it smooth and to work on the transitions? So the picking exercises to strengthen the fingers, so you're not always just leading off with the dominant finger. And then working on the picking exercises as well, so that your hand gets used to being in that good position instead of your palm up top. All right, so that's it. That's Day Tripper. I think I'll give you a blues boogie tune to work on a little more of this tab reading, and then that should close out this idea about how to read tab and some fingerings and transitional stuff. So again, bottom line, thick string. Top line, thin string. Numbers tell you not the fingers, but what frets to play on that string. And it's like you are looking at your guitar like this. Okay, have fun. Catch you next time.